I am terrible at Fortnite. Those players are incredibly skilled at close combat, and I always seem to lose to a shotgun. But in Overwatch, it's different. The maps are smaller and offer plenty of cover, so I can leverage my team to shoot from a distance. So, I decided to create my own map to practice my close combat skills. I heard Epic Games released UEFN, specifically for making maps in Fortnite. My plan is to build an environment first, throw a couple of bots in there, and get everything set up. But life isn't that smooth. I encountered many obstacles, bugs, and it took a significant amount of time to learn. Here's my journey of 42 hours learning to make a game in UEFN. First, I needed to build a map. Since I don't know how to build, I decided to start with a zero-build map. The map needed plenty of cover and escape routes. After getting inspired by AI-generated art and watching a few tutorials, I came up with this map. I'm pretty satisfied with the result, although there are a couple of spots with too much line of sight and no cover at all. I'm not sure what to put there. If anyone has any ideas, please comment below. I'd really appreciate it. After spending so much time scratching my head and building the map, I got burned out and felt like giving up. But I told myself not to think about the massive amount of work left. Just focus on each step and keep going. And now, I'm almost ready to throw in some bots and get started. UEFN has a fantastic device called the Guard Spawner device that fits my needs perfectly. So, I placed a few here and there and hit play. But they were really disappointing. They just walked slowly in small circles, moving in very predictable pattern. They would crouch and walk back slowly, even with the difficulty cranked up to the max, making them far too easy to shoot at. I wasn't satisfied at all.
Disappointed!
I wanted the bots to move unpredictably and not just walk around like useless NPCs. My ambition grew. I wanted to create more immersive and dynamic combat, with bots that react to the environment. Essentially, I wanted to bring life to the AI. To achieve this, I needed to learn Verse, a new programming language tailored for the multiverse. It sounded really cool, and I'm always drawn to shiny, cool stuff.
Oh, man.
But my brain is about as complex as a goldfish, so let's see how this goes. I needed to start somewhere. Just like everyone else, I began with the classic Hello World device, and, to my surprise, it ran on the first try. Easiest language of my life, right? After that, I gathered all the information I could find and started experimenting. Epic Games has some really good documentation that I kept coming back to whenever I needed to learn a new concept. I'll put the link in the description below. At first, my impressions of Verse were not great. The syntax felt ugly, with way too many angle brackets. Angle brackets after parentheses, before parentheses, paired with other angle brackets, it was overwhelming. Plus, the function calls sometimes use square brackets, and there are so many effect specifiers like transacts, varies, computes, converges, decides, suspends. I couldn't wrap my head around it. But my stubborn side kicked in, and I told myself to keep going. After struggling for a month, I finally got my guards to run around instead of just wandering like soulless NPCs. Then, I needed to add more special move patterns and strategies to the AI to make them harder to predict and to improve my aim. The event feature in UEFN is really handy. Basically, if the AI identifies a potential target, it emits a signal. I just had to wait for that signal and switch to a zigzag movement pattern. When there was no one to shoot at, they'd just run around. Sounds good, right? I followed my plan and got the guards to stop wandering aimlessly. Victory. But then, they got stuck again. Ugh, I didn't know why. I spent 2 weeks staring at my code, removing everything, and starting from scratch twice, but still couldn't find the solution. Eventually, I said to myself, forget it, it's good enough, and moved on to adding new features. I wanted my guards to suddenly increase speed, dash forward, or jump upward. But I had to scrap those plans too, due to a bug in the device that prevents it from being used on AI. I also discovered another bug that completely crashes your Fortnite game without reporting anything. I've already reported it in the forums, and I'll include that link in the description as well. But my OCD really kicked in. I can't stand it when NPCs get stuck. So, I scratched all my code one more time for a final rewrite. I decided to use a design pattern called the state machine, which is perfect for AI behavior. Here's how it works. The AI starts in a roaming state, exploring the map. When it identifies a target, it transitions to an attack state. If the target is lost, it switches back to roaming, and the cycle begins again. The state machine might sound complicated, but trust me, it works almost flawlessly.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
Instead of diving into the nitty-gritty coding details here, I'll show you the impressive results. However, if anyone's interested, let me know, and I can create a tutorial on how I built it. Here's the result after 6 months of hard work.
Dig a hole to heaven, straight up to heaven. We can leave this dirty world behind, eternal light shining in our eyes. All of our problems we'll never have to solve them. Everything in perfect harmony.
After 6 months of learning, I've come to appreciate Verse as a really powerful language, especially with its strengths and concurrency. I almost fell in love with it. While I still have some issues with the effect specifiers and mostly stick to using only transacts, suspends, and decides. The overall journey was tough but incredibly rewarding with each small victory. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I apologize for using an AI voice. As a non-native speaker, I'm not very confident in my own voice. Anyway, see you in the next video.